Good afternoon, or I guess early evening, RPG Limit Break. We are here live with some Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Tournament action. And if you're sitting there going, wait, Winter Tournament, don't you guys usually do a Spring Tournament? We do, but this time we wanted the tournament to actually end in the spring. So now it's a Winter Tournament. Isn't that right, Luffy?
That is correct. Well, we did a few changes to our schedule this year, which if you join us for a year long of wonderful Final Fantasy Randomizer action, you'll see. But yeah, the new spring tournament is now the new winter tournament. So here we are.
Mm-hmm. My name is Woat, and this is going to be a fun one. We are currently just kicking off the tournament this week, so we are still in our pods phase, which means a few things that we'll touch on as we go through. But the first thing to note is the runners have opted for a 4-force no restrictions setup. So that is why both of them currently have the default party: Fighter, Thief, Red Mage, Black Mage. Luffy, what terrible things are going on with these characters today?
So this is going to be pretty interesting here. So the fighters, we'll start off with just by saying that each character has 2 blessings and 1 malice. What that means is they have 2 benefits and 1 negativity to them. So the fighter starts out with wood armor adept, which means if you can find the wood armor, the helmet, the shield, and the chest piece, you have a full set of evasion, which is really good in most of the game. A little sketchy if you get the Temple of Fiends, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. They also have the ability to hurt dragon when they swing a weapon, so that's really pretty good. The Malice, though, minus 10 strength, kind of a bit of a bummer, but if we could find a weapon that rolls up, that really will make that work. Thieves, they have resist of lightning and eye for insta-kill, I believe, plus 20 MDef as well, so that's really pretty good. The Thief is going to have himself almost like I don't know what you think, maybe like a quarter of a ribbon to start. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
bed
stands for ice, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. There's so much I got to still learn here. I've only been here a couple of years. My God. The Malice, though, on the Thief, no bueno, minus 5 luck, so we might not be seeing a lot of running there. Red Mage, pretty good. Equips the gauntlets and the helmets with the ability to have Lock 2, so they will start with 2 casts of Lock 2 in level 8 magic, which is nice. At the expense of minus 10 hits, it's whatever. And they got a black belt in there on my end that I'm seeing. So the black belt has plus 25 agility, the ability to equip shield at the expense of minus 10 MDef. So that's a couple levels of MDef, no big deal. That's fine.
Yeah. So the big thing with these flags, one of the big changes from what you may have seen in previous tournaments, is we are using a flag that reduces the number of orbs required to enter the final dungeon. Normally you need all 4 orbs, but we are doing 2 orbs any for the pods phase, which means all these runners have to do is kill any 2 fiends and step on that little warp at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So these are surprisingly fast flags to get into go mode with. Speaking of fast, there is our fast spell right out the gate, along with Lit 3 Bane. I believe you saw Harm 3 and Lamp and White Magic, but I imagine both these runners are probably just going to pick up the black magic and call it good.
Yeah, the ruse is nice for promotion if we're going to bother with that with the knight. But with the black belt, I don't know if we'll be looking to promote.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because the knight can't learn it anyway. That was slot 3.
I thought they could land slot 1 and slot 3.
No, that's level 3. Level 1, it's 1, 2, and 4.
Oh, excuse me.
Because I believe slot 3 is Harm in vanilla.
Okay.
And for those of you wondering what we're talking about there, long story short, the way that spell access is determined in the randomizer is based on what a class can learn in the vanilla game. So, if something can learn the 3rd slot of magic in the vanilla game, they can learn the 3rd slot of magic in the randomizer. If they can't, they can't. But yeah, so what this means in terms of the flag set, getting back to that. So we are looking for 4 things for go mode. 2 dead fiends, and the key and the loot key items. Once we have those 2 fiends dead and those 2 key items, we can go to the final dungeon. You just might not want to, because if I'm not mistaken, Luffy, we've got some pretty gnarly scaling for this one.
Yeah, the scaling, it looks on paper like, oh, that's not too bad, until you really sit down and think about it and run a few of these. It's 80 to 180% is what our bosses will be at. You see the 80, you think, okay, that's not so bad. but that is a deceptive 80. It's going to be an average of about 120%
Ooh.
on these fiends. So don't go in there unprepared is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch what had the damage poison, but that was either one of the wolf enemies or the imps, and I know which one these runners are presumably rooting for. But we do get 2 fetch quests right off the bat: Crystal and Herb.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, you like to see early turn-ins to kind of give you some direction here. We're starting with the free bridge, and we're also starting with free canoe. So we can do volcano right away if we want to do it. So we're really just looking for access to one more dungeon. We're looking for that rod. We're looking for that oxyale. If we come across a cube and chime early, okay, that's fine. But really just need one more dungeon access besides what we already have right here.
So, yeah, as I expected, both these runners were probably going to go to Provoke anyway, having that crystal in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Early tail. Now, as you pointed out, with the black belt, you're not necessarily looking to promote, but so we do have character recruitment on. As these runners take down fiends, they will have the option of replacing party members. Now, there is a world where you just, if you find the right gear, you just say, you know what, I don't need a black belt. And you trade that black belt out for like a black mage or another fighter, and you just save the time of grinding that black belt.
Yep, it's true. Like these flags are, there's a whole different bunch of ways you can win, and that is absolutely one of them. I've seen double fighter comps win. I've seen, triple mages with a single thief win. It's really a whole array of different things that our runners can do here, and that's absolutely one of them. If they don't find an early spike tile that they like, I mean, that's not a bad play at all.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I've made the comment in passing. It almost feels like this flag set figured out how to do Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, but Final Fantasy 1. Because it's that similar feel for folks who are familiar with that randomizer of just like you're not locked into any one path where victory goes to the person who just hit on the golden path first. Because kind of what we were alluding to before, a lot of this particular flag set I've found is in figuring out when am I comfortable going into Temple of Fiends. When do I feel like I have enough power to follow my go mode to its end?
So we got some Ice 3 here at level 2, along with some meh white magic. But that Ice 3 is nice. Cake is also very nice. I know Deng's going to be very happy to see that one.
And we got the wooden helmet, +2.
Okay, there we go.
So I think that's our first piece of wooden gear. For folks who might be rolling a little bit late, the fighter has the Wood Adept blessing today. So that means that if we can get all 3 pieces of the wooden equipment set equipped on him, that is a massive boost to evade. I don't think that we saw the wood armor here in Provoca. We may have seen that back in Canaria. I wasn't looking, I'm going to be honest.
I don't think we saw it here at Provoca. I think you might be right. Or maybe it was the wooden weapons there in the item shop, or the armor shop. Weapon shop that I'm thinking of.
You got it in 3 out of 4 possibilities. It's good enough. 3/4, that's what, the 75%? That's a C grade, you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, there may have been wood in the armor shop twice and I just missed it, but I think we only had the helmet.
And we got what looked like it might be early same pathing to some early divergence. Deng with the 5-minute, 6-minute ice cave dive here. The Mad Lad going in. You love to see it.
Mage Staff, that's one of the other flags that we have on, is a starting item. In this case, we have a starting random AoE caster item, which in this case is Mage Staff, which casts Fire too. So, between that and the Lit 3, and I believe we have Quake and Ice 3 out of Provoca, yeah. So, I mean, Deng has 2 different insta-kill spells, that's basically everything he needs.
I like the Ice Cave play. I prefer to go to Ice Cave myself over Marsh Cave. So I like this play. I'm very interested to see what we're going to find as the sages give us a hot dog.
Yep, that'll feed the Titan. Serisan opting for the fun percent flag that changes what the ruby is called. Today, it's a hot dog. If Deng also has those flags on, I believe that it can give him a different rename.
Mm-hmm.
So, we may see a different option on the Titan there. Also, if they chose different setups. But anyway, Serisan continuing the circle of the inner sea. Gonna turn in this herb and see what the Elfin Prince gives us.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So, that's, like I said, that's half of our key items for Go mode. We need that loot to access the entirety of the Temple of Fiends Revisited aside from the first 3 floors. Yeah, we completely forgot about trap chests.
Right. Yes, there are 50 trap chests that they decided to put into the pool here that will always have rare gear, which is actually, I kind of like it. I like it a lot, actually.
Some of you may be sitting there thinking, I don't remember trap chests in Final Fantasy 1. That's because there aren't. We added those. The developers behind this randomizer, oh, there's a light axe.
Okay.
Not a great light axe, but light axes are good, and that is a life spell there at level 4 white. I believe that was Red Mage learnable, so...
Slot 3, yep, sure is.
Yep, and we've got Temper as well at level 3 black, so... We got Temper and Fast, we've got Life. Really, we're in pretty good shape as far as end-game magic goes.
Mm-hmm. And if we do decide to promote as well, we do have Saber as well out there in level 4 black, so that will be ninja learnable.
Mm-hmm. And that Cure 3 was also available at level 3 white, so that would be Knight available. So we've got some tools in our belt, but yeah. So
you love to see Temper and Fast in the first 4 levels of magic, especially when you have a black belt. I mean, that's your win condition right there. If they decide to use it, we really don't even need to find another weapon.
Remember who exactly put together the trap chest thing, just to address the question of how it got put into the game, but probably it involved a good bit of doing funky stuff. I mean, one thing that I know that we change with every single ROM that the randomizer creates is that it changes the mapping of the game itself. Mm-hmm. And there's the ship in Ice Cave.
Okay, so...
And I believe we're using the placement rules that make it so that you're almost always going to find the shipping canal before Floater. So that's big for Deng here in the early game.
Mm-hmm. Also, 5 spike tiles here to check for Deng if you wanted to. He skipped the one in the drop-down room. So he's only going to see 4 of the 5. Nothing really worth grabbing here. Giants and not much else.
Jesus the Frog correcting me in chat, saying that they are just guaranteed to be in the inner sea with the placement logic, but the floater can also be on the inner sea. So, for the moment, though, Dengwoo definitely has a little bit of an edge, as long as he remembers that that boat is back in Provoca.
That's right.
The way that the randomizer decides where to place the ship is based on where you find it and the closest port on the inner sea to that location that does not require a map edit to reach. It's a wiggly definition, but that's the long and short of it. So in this case, because Ice Cave is closest to Provoca without map edits, and in fact, you can only get to the Ice Cave from Provoca without map edits or the ship, Deng has to go back to Provoca to collect his boat, and he is rowing straight past the fort that will take him to Provoca, so we may see a very confused... Nope, he realized...
Yep, he doubled back. I thought maybe he's going to go check the sages real quick, but no. Go get your boat, Deng.
It is always going to be faster to go get the boat. boat.
Mm-hmm.
We do have Powerboat on, so if you are used to Final Fantasy I, where the boat is kind of just, you know, a nice, peaceful time.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's more of a da 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 da.
And the interesting thing here, by looking at where we've been and what we've done, we're gonna definitely need to do Marsh Cave probably as well, because this is either going to be our canal or it's going to lead to the canal, considering that what has already been picked up by both of our runners. So we're gonna probably need to do this unless this ends up being the floater, which it can't because we don't have any more turn-ins to do. So both ice and marsh are going to be hard required, I think.
If it's the floater, we could get to Waterfall.
Could.
And Ordeals.
Could. I don't think we can find the canal outside the inner sea. At least I certainly hope not.
Yeah, but we haven't done dwarves, but there it is anyway.
Okay. Blue dragon on that spike tile is one of 4 tiles that could work for that black belt that I look for. You look for the blue dragon. I look for the zombie dragons as well. The Agama and the Eye are the 2 choice tiles. But that blue dragon, if they didn't roll in the upper 400 or 500 HP range, could certainly be doable. That's something that Serisan will probably keep in mind.
So I feel like we're still early on in this seed, but I think Deng has a little bit of an edge at the moment with that ship already, because Serisan is going to have to walk all the way back around to Ice Cave. We know that now. And literally, he is as far from Ice Cave as you can be.
Yeah, the only benefit.
Continent.
The only benefit to his routing here is he's just going to be able to continue right to Provoca and not have to double back to do another turn in. So that's the only benefit, albeit a small one.
Yeah, but I still think Deng is probably going to get a little bit of an exploration lead here.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how this shakes out. Serisan. That's actually going to give Deng even a little bit more time. Being able to park the boat at these rivers instead of needing to, follow the landscape. So Deng won't need to double back to Elfland, for example.
Yeah, because these red dragons can definitely work, as well as frost dragons as well. That's a good point. I like the 2 zombie dragons more so than the single red dragon, just because they can appear in packs of 2. Personally, anyway. It's more of a personal preference at that point.
See, my personal preference is just not do static grinds. I genuinely cannot stand it. I am 100% team walking grind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people that will go into ordeals at level 8, try to come out at level 15, and then dive one of the late game dungeons to finish myself off in the 20s, and then go from there. Yeah, no, Caleb. The randomizer just decided to give them the default party. It was very amusing.
Yep. Needs more white mage. Well, you would know, Caleb.
Yeah. They did, again, just so it's clear for folks who may have caught the race between Caleb and Cyranus on Sunday, Deng and Serisan left it up to coin toss, and the coin said they are allowed to recruit. So they may opt to change out party members if they find something they like as they're progressing through the seed.
Ooh, spiders right there with stone touch. Yucky.
I mean, is it really a Danny rolled seed if an arachnid doesn't have something horrifying?
No, that's what we call in this community a rite of passage.
I should just be honest with people and let them know that basically everything's a rite of passage at this point. There are no places where you're safe. There's just that vague ignorance of the danger that lurks around you until you gain enough experience. Randomizer, come play it, folks! It's not actually just an 8-bit torture device played mostly by masochists. I promise.
Doing some quick math right there on the blue dragon. I missed what that mage stick shot for, but I think that blue dragon has somewhere between 380 and 430 HP. Not the worst in the world if they decide they want to take their levels there, if they decide to keep the black belt. Ooh. That's less fine. Tigers with crack and saber-tooths with blizzard. Oy. And trance. Okay. Well.
Unfortunate.
Oh.
So, but, okay, I just want to take a moment to appreciate this. Serisan's the first one to Marsh Cave, gets in and out, no trouble. Dengwoo's the first one to Ice Cave, in and out, no trouble. Both of them then proceed to go to the other dungeon and take a wipe.
Okay, gargoyles on the other spike tile that Deng did not check, so nothing there that he missed. Ooh.
Also, Jesus in chat pointing out that they're getting the vague sense that Serisan may not be going for a black belt play, and I'm apt to agree. You get this intuition after you've played this game enough and watched enough races to where you're like, you get a feel for like when runners are doing something interesting. And there's just something that tells me that black belt may not be Serisan's game plan here.
I know for a fact Serisan is not the biggest fan of black belts. We do a lot of duckling stuff together and have a lot of conversations about it, so seeing the black belt eat dirt does not surprise me.
Yeah, so for folks who may be watching their first Final Fantasy Randomizer stream, party members who are dead do not get experience points. There are flags you can set in the randomizer to make it so that they gain experience points, but we do not have that one on. So the thing is dead party members also have their share of EXP from a fight reallocated to the rest of the group. So by dropping that black belt, Serisan is basically making sure the party members that he intends to use will actually get more levels. Oh wow! So we have two different blue D tiles. Or is that just part of the standard chest guardian set?
The box has 2 to 3 blue dragons in it that can appear. That was a trap box.
Okay, but the blue Ds are also guarding the canal chest.
Yes, and Deng leaving behind that other trap chest in the next room, saying, "I don't care what was in there. I don't want it."
Yeah. Now, it is one of those things that you will see runners who are very fond of who play enough, I'll put it that way, of the trap chests. If you have a full inventory, you will actually, the game will tell you what is in that box because they'll be telling you, you can't pick this up, you silly goose. So you will see some runners actually load up on cheap equipment at the very beginning of a seed, so that when they pop open those trap chests, they don't have to fight the enemy to find it if it's worth the trouble. With the speed that these flags have, I can see why neither runner would do something like that, but it is at least something that you can do with the trap chest flag, is to kind of allow yourself to peek the box without having to fight the thing in it, unless you want to. And yeah, dead party members can still have inventory slots that you can shove things into. Very much in the Earthboundian sense. And much like in Earthbound, you can't actually use the stuff in their inventory during a fight. So you don't want them to carry useful things, just things you might want for after promotion. And we do find the rest of the wood set, so if you want to have a wooden fighter, that is online. And at this point, though, we have seen our first 6 levels of magic, so we gotta have an idea of how things are going to shake out magic-wise. So we kind of covered most of it. We have access to life, we've got some good healing, we do have fast and temper, which are our 2 combat buff spells. We've got some good sweepers, and we've got a little bit of reinforcement. Red Wizard will have access to Fade at level 6 magic. So, overall, not a bad magic seed.
Yeah, pretty kind, like you said. Some decent sweepers in there. Ice 3, Lit 3, pretty good. We've seen the insta kills. Brack promotion locked at level 5 is a bit of a bummer, but I mean, that's not the worst in the world. And Fast and Temper are the real prizes in the first 4 levels.
Yeah, really the biggest drawback we have is we don't have warp and we don't have exit below level 7.
Mm-hmm. So no utility movement, but that's okay. It's not the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, this party's going to want experience either way. Fighter's going to want a little bit of extra experience to make up for that strength deficit. And if you're using the black belt, you always want levels on the black belt.
Oh, hi!
Oh, hi! There's the eye!
Okay, alright. So, what is Deng gonna do, I wonder? Oh, they're squishy, too. They're very squishy.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
So Dang at least is going to go ahead and open the rest of these boxes, maybe thinking, I'm just going to take note of this. It didn't look like the route through ordeals was particularly nasty today.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. It was pretty quick.
So he may just be thinking, if this is the best grind I have, it's not too bad to get back here. Probably thinking, but I'm going to check Earth Cave before I commit to an ordeals grind. Or checking the fire, and now he's going to strip the rest of his party bare and go level up this black belt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So he's going to use the fire to kill them.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, okay. I like Dang's thinking here. Confirm that he can get the black belt out.
Mm-hmm.
And then go kill the rest of the party. So, again, the way that XP works in this game, dead party members' share of the experience gets spread across the rest of the surviving party members. If you have 3 dead party members, that means the one surviving party member gets all of the experience for 4 people. So what Dengwoo is doing right now is killing the rest of his party members off, so that he can funnel all of the experience into his black belt, because black belt scales based on level. Serisan, meanwhile, is checking a couple of things, and it looks like he may be thinking, let's go look at what is down here in... okay, he's going to go over to the Titan's Tunnel and to Sarda.
He picked up the hot dog from the sages. Dang did not go to Crescent Lake. Oh, Dang banana peeled.
Well, that makes it a little bit easier for him to maybe get these characters killed off.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Oxyale. So, go ahead.
No, I'm nervous, though, because we've seen Saber Tigers with Blizzard. He hasn't seen that yet. Oh, no, he did. He did see that. He saw that in the trap. Okay, so he knows they're here. Okay.
Yeah, so that is a good point. Dang didn't go to Crescent. We did get the Oxyale out of Titan's Tunnel, though, on Serisan's side. So, Serisan, our first runner to have access to 2 fiends.
Serisan just needs the key here. So let's see how long this eye takes to mow down the rest of his party. Hopefully with nothing script-wise behind a couple punches. And
odd, so Serisan could just skip Volcano entirely.
He could. He's on the outside of the inner seed. He doesn't have to row his way through the river system.
Yeah. The big problem right now is I don't think Serisan's found much in the way of gear. But he does have that tail, so... and we do have both the Bahamut Dock and the Dragon's Horde flags on. So, Serisan does have the ability, even without the floater, to go promote the party, check some boxes, see what he can see. Okay.
There's levels number 2 right there. Okay.
Yep, and this is a much friendlier grind spot than where Dang is.
Yeah, they got north of 400 HP though on these Agamas. They rolled up pretty high.
I mean, if you level up the black belt, it doesn't matter.
It won't.
Oh, and Metal Slime's making up the other encounter group.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, that is a very strong combination. So Dang also benefiting from few other factors. Also, one moment, our tracker unfortunately is going to need to bail, so I'm going to need to pop open the tracker over here and kind of try to keep track of everything.
I'll help. We're in this together.
All right. But yeah, so...
Okay.
Yeah, so we do have that rod on Serisan's side. So, alright, we should be in good shape at this point.
Looks good, looks good. Everything looks good so far. Cool.
Alright.
Alright, so Dang getting 6,600 HP funneled to this black belt, already with 6 hits at level 25. Okay, so Dang well on his way here.
Much so. So, I imagine we're going to see this taken to at least the high 30s. Like, Dang may not do the full grind to 40 here. And Serisan, I'm not sure what his plan is either. It looks like he may just be hanging levels on his party until they go down.
Could be. Easy. The thief took a punch and went down, so that's the hardest party member to get to take a nap because of their evasion.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw that on Dang's side where, you know, the red mage was on a knee and the thief was still in the hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
But, So yeah, just while we are sitting here, to kind of explain why the black belt is getting all this experience. Like I said, the black belt scales based on level. So the three qualities especially that you gain when the black belt gains experience are their attack stat, their absorb stat, and their magic defense stat. Absorb's not as important as the other two, but hit percent, not absorb. That's the one that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So hit percent determines how many hits you land when you attack. And Final Fantasy 1, the way that your damage is determined is basically as you gain levels, your hit percent goes up, the number of hits happens. That's how many times the game rolls the dice to determine how many times you land a hit, and then how many times you roll damage. So the more hits, the better. Black Belt gets the ability to double the number of hits they'd be entitled to normally if they are unarmed. So instead of getting 1 hit, they get 2 hits. Instead of getting 2 hits, they get 4 hits. Instead of getting 3 hits, they get 6 hits. At level 42, a Black Belt's hit percent is high enough that they get 8 hits, or 10 hits.
10.
It's 32 where they get 8 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also hitting like a truck with every one of those hits. And they also are gaining increased resistance to spells with every level they gain.
Mm-hmm.
So Dengwoo is currently looking to get this black belt at least to 32, because 8 hits is generally enough to annihilate most things. He's already past that. He's at level 36.
Yeah, he's going to take this right to 42 with the minus 10 MDef on the black belt to begin with. Once they hit level 42 vanilla MDef wise, they essentially gain themselves a ribbon with their magic defense. There's certain breakpoints that you look for with the black belt. 21 for 4 hits, 22 or 21 for 6 hits, 32 for 8 hits, and 42 for 10 hits. And their magic defense grows 4-1 compared to their promoted master version. So Dang's stopping at 38. That's fine. He'll get the rest of his levels as he goes through the rest of the seed here. That's fine.
Yeah, and you see that a lot, where runners are like, yeah, I just need enough power to get to the point where I will gain the rest of my levels. So 38's a pretty common one. 37, some people even stop at 36. I see a couple of folks in chat commenting as such. So you'll get enough experience on that black belt through the rest of the game to where you'll be 42 by the time you hit the final dungeon.
I'm always of the mind, just take your levels now. There's absolutely the play, like you said, stop at 38, get the rest of the levels as you go. He will hit his 42 as he goes into Temple of Fiends. He could even get it on the way down. I just would get my levels and be done.
Ooh. Did Deng save before he walked into Bahamut's cave?
I think he saved when he left Ordeals, but point of order here as well. That trapped chest right there behind Bahamut. Okay, so he promoted, but then he noped out of that. So because of these trapped chests and because a key item cannot be trapped, that gives Deng some information there. That is either a ribbon or the Vorpal sitting there in Bahamut's closet.
He doesn't really need either one of those. His battle strategy for Temple of Fiends is punch.
Yeah, Black Belt go burr. So let's see if Ordeals was any kind of required, though. TNT, let's keep fetching.
Mm-hmm.
Serisan, don't get me wrong here. Going with the Black Belt strats here on the Agama.
Well, it's one of those things. I think Serisan was kind of going to ignore the Black Belt, but we just have not seen any real equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things, like, you definitely need an in-game weapon of some kind. And so Serisan may have just done the math and been like, it is faster for me to grind out a black belt on these Agamas than it will be for me to, fingers crossed, dig out a sword. But there is our floater.
Okay, very interesting. So we got, looks like we got Waterfall here that's going to be some kind of required based off of what we got going on. Because we haven't seen the bottle, we haven't seen the slab.
In the vendor item.
In the vendor item. Ooh, I wonder if we got ourselves a key just kind of chilling over there on on-rack content.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could be there. It could be at Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
It could be behind the ferry, but yeah, I think at this point we do know that... Well, we also haven't seen the slab.
Nope.
So... yeah, there's still several paths that can take us to... excuse me. Take us to our required key, but Deng is going to be our first runner airborne here at about the 34-40 second mark, so
Give or take.
So Deng finally going to come over to Crescent Lake and collect some rewards.
We'll see if Deng has a fun percent flag on as well, or if you're just getting the vanilla ruby.
Which we know the ruby leads to the Oxyale, so, Deng is going to get his fiend-killing starter pack going through here, but he has the floater, so that volcano play is a lot less painful.
Oh yeah, he can do Volcano in about 50 seconds going right down there too, just stepping on the damage tiles on his way down. With that black belt, carry stands no chance.
Yeah. So fun fact for folks who may not be aware. Damaging tiles in Final Fantasy I, so those lava blocks, the kind of icy lava you saw in Ice Cave, you cannot get into an encounter on them. They do not advance the encounter step counter that the game uses to determine whether or not you get into a fight. So, as long as you know that, Volcano is a very fast dungeon if you're not looking to open boxes, which Deng is not. You're noticing, he's not getting into fights.
Mm-hmm.
The only times he can get into fights are on those ground tiles like you just saw.
Mm-hmm. And Deng's done opening boxes. He's got that black belt up. Maybe he goes back to Bahamut to see if that's a ribbon, but he's done opening any box that's not mandatory at this point.
And yeah, I wonder if he was going to go ahead and promote and then remembered that the black belt took a hit to that MDef.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, I might promote before going deeper, but I would rather have the MDef on the black belt than, say, Cure 3 or on my Knight.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, the other thing is, unless you turn a specific flag on the randomizer, those damage tiles can't kill you.
And if you look behind Carrie there, we have another black belt just kind of chilling there.
Probably not picking that one up.
Probably not, but it'd be
The rest
funny.
of the party's just now reaching level 15.
It'd be funny if we did, though.
Oh yeah, it'd be hilarious. Yeah, that does raise an interesting question, though. Like, if, say, you see a black mage behind your other fiend kill, do you maybe drop the fighter or the thief for the black mage to have a little bit of extra tempering available?
I would probably, if it's me, I would probably drop the thief, and I would keep the fighter as that, that tank in the front there with any kind of armor to take any hits. That way my black belt can sit in slot 3 comfortable.
Really like that line of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and chat, on the other hand, offering up that you keep the thief for running capabilities. I think, dang, missing out on a ribbon. It wasn't an incentive chest, there's just a loose ribbon in that same room.
Yeah, okay.
So, probably not gonna matter, but that is worth noting, is that Serisan has a ribbon that Dang just ran past.
Mm-hmm. You can see the difference here on the two spike tiles that our runners decided to take. Deng was getting 6,600 HP per eye tile, and Serisan only getting 5,600 here, so that's 1,000 XP difference. That adds up after a while.
Thing too is Serisan, I think Serisan had took a little longer to get his party down,
mm-hmm.
because of that early funneling XP into the other 3 characters.
Oh, okay, so Deng parking at the little-known spot right there just south of the caravan. I never park there. I might start doing that just to be different.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's anything that describes Dengwoo, it's deliberately different. The other thing, too, about Serisan is he's taking his grind to 40. Like, I just saw his black belt's already 40, probably about to hit 41.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just going to 42. He's not messing around.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, is, like, Dang cut that grind off early. And there's the bottle. Would you consider that French vanilla for the bottle to be the vendor item in On Rack?
That's pretty close, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just down the river, through the woods.
Dang, yeah. He's gonna nope on out of there. I mean, would you have done Sea Shrine while you're there? I mean, you're there.
I think what Dang right now is thinking is, I mean, I genuinely sometimes I don't know what Dang is thinking, but I'm suspecting his thinking is, going from Earth to Temple of Fiends is faster, and if he still has to run around and find the key anyway, he might as well find the key first and then just do Earth.
And with Earth as well, I mean, all the enemies, you put that black belt in slot 1, every enemy is going to run from you as it is, so it will be marginally quicker, especially if you're not opening boxes. But I think C as a dungeon itself is quicker than people normally can give it credit for.
Yeah, no. If you're not opening boxes, if you're going straight down to Kraken, it is what 3.5 floors that you're doing,
give or take. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's one of those things. Like, you can, if the RNG is in your favor, you can sprint down to Kraken almost as fast as you can get to Carry. But so it looks like Dengwoo is going to go ahead and just do Earth. The big thing that Dang may be thinking here is just, we do also have better trap treasure on. Separate from the trapped treasure boxes. So he may also be thinking, there's a couple of spots in Earth Cave that have paid off regularly. the entire game that Serisan just checked, and I wasn't looking at his screen, so I didn't see what was in them. But that may also be part of Dang's thinking. If he does want to open any more boxes, the Earth boxes are more lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably not going to open any boxes, but also it's Dengwoo and he has Quake, so he may be skipping out on Kraken so he can go Quake Lich.
That also does not surprise me at all.
I have 100% lost a race to Dengwoo quaking a Lich.
Oh, Guardian Market, was it really? Because I saw Serisan checking the Asher box, but I didn't know what was in it. It was a power bonk. That's amazing.
So, it's one of those things where right now, Serisan has... So, alright, here's the thing. Dengwoo currently has a lead in terms of game completion.
Mm-hmm.
He's followed up on more key items than Serisan has. He's got a Fiend down that Serisan hasn't killed. Serisan's got a little more black belt experience.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, Serisan has items that the black belt... on his black belt, that has items that Dengwoo doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Serisan's got a ribbon, Serisan's now apparently got a power bonk. How stiff does Temple of Fiends need to be for that to matter?
We'll see. Fast level 1, temper level 4, power bonk that Serisan has as well. I mean, what we're gonna have to see here is what is this slab? Because if waterfall holds our key, then Serisan's right here, and he can be right back in this quite fast.
It looked like for a moment Dang might have been thinking of going to waterfall, but it looks like he's going to chase the Lefane down. So
we're hoping this is like adamant to Vorpal for Serisan.
So, since this came up in chat for folks who are wondering and maybe watching this on VOD, the reason that Dengwoo and Serisan's battle screens look differently. One of our fun percent flags, which is what we call the flags that don't affect the seed that gets generated by the game, is what we call the modern battlefield flag. So, what Deng has on the left is the vanilla Final Fantasy I battlefield. What Serisan has is the more like later Final Fantasy style battlefield, where there's not all the little boxes boxing everything off. You just have the one screen with the fight going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a purely cosmetic decision that the runners can opt for. Same as the runners have different menu colors. That's another flag that you can set, and you can even set that in game by hitting select on the title screen.
And we got the first piece of that possible puzzle for Serisan here. The adamant was the slab turn-in. So let's see. Is this gonna be the Vorpal, or is this the key?
I'm gonna laugh if this is the Vorpal.
Oh, okay.
That is a heavy-duty key.
Yeah, that is floater hard required here. Serisan has to go and do ordeals.
Unfortunate for Serisan, but Dang is going to be our first runner into ordeals at about the 45-35 mark.
Yep.
So this may be over here very soon, at least in terms of having a winner.
Yeah, the routing here, different choices is what's made the difference so far. We'll see if this Temple of Fiends, we like to call it the Great Equalizer here. There could be some nasty stuff sitting in Deng's way. And he does have a black belt that is not fully done up with their MDef, so it could be a little spooky. But we'll see here. Serisan's got to take some time to dig out that floater.
Yeah, if Deng had a ribbon, I'd say that, you know, he can just stick the black belt in slot 3, slap the ribbon on.
Yeah.
Black belt doesn't need absorb. Black belt has HP.
Mm-hmm.
And heck, even if you didn't want to necessarily have the black belt just have no absorb, black belts can throw shields on. You just throw that +4 flame shield and a ribbon on that black belt, and yeah, he'll take enough punches.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, Serisan is going to go ahead and deal with Kraken. Kraken does not stop the person that needs to be stopped, so this is about to be very much over with that fast cast doing 14 hits for 1,700 damage.
Calamari, anybody?
I don't think there's enough left for Calamari. Like, I feel like to have Calamari, there needs to be squid bits left, and I don't even think the bits that are left are legally squid. But yeah, Deng already up to Lich 2.
Everybody's favorite speed bump. Blinking, you're gonna miss it.
And he's gonna quake it.
You love it. You love it.
So Lich, in spite of being an undead and also the Fiend of Earth, does not actually have any resistance to the Earth element. So you can use the Quake spell to kill Lich. Both first and second form. Or the first and second Lich fight. The only time I've ever participated in one of these tournaments, I had a race against Deng where he first turn Quaked Lich 2 and didn't see the first turn nuke that the Lich 2 had. I did. Several times. And someday I may forgive him for that.
But that's not today.
Not today. Not today. I'm still bitter. And I've come to accept this about myself. But no, Deng loves his insta-kills, and no one can take that away from him.
We don't call him the cake boss for nothing.
But yeah, Deng already halfway through Water Floor. This is a fairly friendly encounter table, all things considered.
Not too bad. He's having to burn a little bit of resources here. He's got one shot of life left, which is not ideal. But he's about to pull Kraken 2. So unless Kraken 2 wants to do Kraken 2 things, which she usually does, we'll see how Deng goes through this.
Yeah, and I can see why he wants to keep that thief on his feet. That thief is going to be very good for running away from all these fights. But yeah, we got Fast coming out. We've got a dead fighter. Deng having a moment of think. Gonna just ruse up the red mage, make sure that if Kraken takes a swing, the person who can heal is still alive. And he's just going to keep swinging with the black belt. Yeah, 11 hits, 900 damage. We're done here.
Mm-hmm.
So. And yeah, going to go ahead and move the thief up. Pretty much don't need the running away ability once we get past Tiamat 2. And I really do hope there aren't a lot of folks who are, this is their first time seeing Final Fantasy 1, because they're sitting there going, what are some of these monsters? Why are you talking about re-fighting them? We didn't fight them the first time. Question in chat, why did you switch character positions? So, Final Fantasy 1 does not have the front and back row thing that later Final Fantasies do. So, instead, the way it determines whether or not, instead, what you have is percentages of whether or not a character is going to get hit. So, the character in slot 1 has a 50% chance of being the target of a single target attack. The character in slot 2 has a 25% chance. And the characters in slot 3 and 4 are at 12.5 each, roughly. There's a slight variation, but we are into chaos. I'll finish explaining things in a minute. So, 4 hits for about 300. Fast comes out. We got a little bit of an evasive chaos, don't you think, Luffy?
I do, yeah. I wonder if Deng remembers he's got Lock 2 there in slot 8 for that red wizard, or that red mage. But 11 hits, 980. That's not bad. We're going to get there, I think, pretty soon. We're just going to keep firing tempers out.
8 hits, that look like 8 for 800. This is the opposite of good for Dengwoo.
Yep. Okay.
But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Everyone dies, the black belt lives, chaos goes down.
Oh.
As is tradition. And Serisan has went ahead and forfeit. We are 10 minutes in the future, so that was an almost instant forfeit, and we
Sure
are
was.
joined in the booth
I
by
guess.
Serisan.
Yeah, I guess you guys talked about ordeals.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was just saying to Dang in the race room, man, I found the eye right as you were pulling chaos.
Mm,
Ugh.
yeah.
Those Agamas had hands and they were rated E for everyone. Oh, like this is the grind I've got. It's right here. I have the resources to do it. We'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an ordeal. Just not the correct one.
Let's see if Dang wants to join us.
I got it.
You got it? All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. So Saracen, it was called out in chat very early on where you had the black belt taking a little bit of a nap. Was the decision to pick him up a combination of the whole being finding that grind and not finding any equipment?
So, I had very limited charges of magic, and so when he went down, I was like, well, I'm going to finish this ice, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do with our lives. And I decided to pick him up just to have the warm body initially and, get some passive experience and decide what I was doing as I moved on. Because I figured, best case scenario, I can find equipment in boxes I can use, and we'll just, fighter it all the way with the wood evasion bonus. And then I found the Agametal. I was like, it's good enough, right? And I took the metal slimes for a bit, got the thief down, and then just sort of whittled away at the party with the Agama because, like I said, that Agama had hands. It was hitting hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was hitting for like 150 on the crits. And I'm like, well, that'll get a fighter down pretty quick when he's just wearing wood armor. Yeah, kind of the rest is history from there.
Also have a Dengwoo in the room now. Dang, GG.
GG. Whoa, it's been a while. It's been a while, Woat. What's going on?
Not too terribly much. Still complaining about that time you beat me by quaking Lich 2 to turn 1.
I see you cursed me. I see you cursed me because it didn't land any time. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. No, dang it. You're never allowed to quake Lich 2 again as long as I'm around. But anyway, yeah, so we were just talking to Saracen about the Agama grind. So what kind of pushed you to go to Ordeals first thing?
The first thing for Ordeals? I mean, I had Tail already, so I was like, it's 2 quick checks. Why not? And look, I try to tell people this, all right? When you try to understand my thinking while running, you're gonna have headaches. Like, there's no point, okay? I said Ordeals at the random spur of the moment thing, and that's what I did. I mean,
Okay, dang, you know how this works. I have to ask questions in a way that theoretically helps people understand what on earth happened. It is my obligation, no matter how futile the effort may be.
My black belt said, go to Ordeals, slip on a banana peel, and then grind away. And that's what I did.
Okay. So that does, however, remind me of something that people were wondering, and I think at least Luffy was. So you're over in the on-rack area. You've already done your grind. You pick up the bottle and you say, you know what? I've got Oxyale. I don't care. Was the rationale there? What did the voices in your head tell you to do there, Dang?
I just wanted key first. I was just trying to do key. That's all. That's the reason why I kept saving in places, was just so I could just save a couple seconds, because I knew the black belt was there. If Saracen does Ordeals, I know it's a foot race, so I need to hit the gas as fast as possible, and saving and teleporting across the maps when I can is the best time save I can do.
Saracen, by that sort of the same question, you get over there, you find the bottle, and you say, you know what? I'm in the mood for calamari.
It was the dungeon that didn't require me to canoe around the inner sea. And so I wasn't counting on the floater necessarily, because I figured there was the chance that I would get the key, and the key would be what blocked the floater, or that I would get the key somehow before I got floater. And obviously that's just not how the seed was going to shake out this time. But I was right there. I was checking for the shop items still. I was going to go do waterfall, which was disappointingly a cube. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Sense. Yeah, so trying to think if there's anything else of note as far as this particular seed went. I've been enjoying like this has proven to be a very interesting flag set. Y'all obviously made a couple of modifications. Was there a reason you kind of went with the 4 force? Was it just for funsies? Was it for that chance of starting with the black belt? Was it just to see if you could make something almost as bad as the Caleb Cyranus race from the other day?
So I just put together a template of the modifications that I wanted to see if opponents would go for. And Deng was the opponent that accepted both of them. So that's why we had the trap chests and the 4 forced. And there's no shame in saying no. It is absolutely reasonable for people to say no to these optionals. But I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the way that the party select was shaking out when I was doing the base flags.
Yeah, for me, he just offered, and I said, "Sure, why not? Let's have some fun."
Hey, I appreciate that about you, Deng. You're down to clown on whatever nonsense gets thrown out. I'm there for it.
All right. So if that's the case, Luffy, you got any other questions you can think of?
Not hit on most of it. I was curious about the not doing sea and choosing to opt Earth, but we kind of talked through that, and I understood why Dang was doing the saves here and there, trying to warp back and forth, trying to save any second he could, because we got 2 really quality runners here, and they ran a really great race. It was simple routing decisions here that kind of made the difference. If that key was in waterfall, this could have been a heck of a lot closer. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying my darnest not to go to waterfall because I didn't have any exit, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no exit or warp or anything like that. So like, I was doing my darnest not to do waterfall because I did not want to do the walk in and out unless I absolutely had to.
Mm-hmm.
In case you were wondering, by the way, exit was at the first slot in Gaia at level 7, and warp was 3rd slot Gaia level 8.
Mm-hmm.
Nuke was first slot in Gaia.
Yep.
At level 7.
Cure 4 was LaFane.
Yeah.
So, but
I kind of suspected that red mage was going to be very worthless.
Mm-hmm. They had utility. They had fast. They had temper. It's all you needed.
That's all you needed. I will say, in the hindsight, I should have just went all the way to 42 anyways, because at the point that I got to 38, you might as well just spend the extra, like
2 minutes?
Yeah, an extra minute just to hit 42 for 10 hits.
I was a little surprised that you stopped there. We figured that you were going to maybe get your levels, through the rest of the seed, but it just didn't happen because of the way things worked out. So it was a little spicy there in Temple of Fiends, but the fast that you had kind of mitigated, anything that was going to trouble your way there. A little sketch on chaos with that insta kill there at the end.
But how hard were you clenching when the crack came out?
I held my breath. Are you kidding me? I held my breath as soon as it came out. I don't think I let go until he got terminated. I was like, oh, it's over.
Do you want to know the best part, Dang? There was a ribbon in Titan's Tunnel. You ran past the ribbon chest and then just ran straight out.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was like Corboras and Scorpions too. It was a nothing fight.
It wasn't. I think chat pointed out as well that Serisan, you checked the Asher box. Was that the power bonk?
It sure was, because I always check the Asher trunk. It always pays out, and today it paid out a power bonk. Usually I get like 3 gold from it, but you know.
What was in Bahamut?
I think it was the Vorpal as an incentive because it was in the trap
Yeah.
chest.
It was either a Vorpal or a ribbon because it was trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saved out of it. Like after I grinded, I checked it. It was heirs, and I'm like, well, I'm not promoting, whatever. And I reset out, and I did the crown turn in.
No, I was gonna
Jesus is asking, what's the Asher chest? It's the northernmost chest in Earth 3. So
Yep.
directly north of the vampire.
Mhm.
That's the box.
You'll see quite a few of us check that box because
why
you know,
is it
like
called the
Serisan
Asher
said,
chest? What did
80% of the
Asher
time
leave
it pans
behind
out.
in that box?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That was before my time, dude.
that's just what they call it, and we're just rolling with it.
Dang it,
Not-
guys!
Not many people used to check that box because it's kind of out of the way. You actually waste this step or a couple steps because there is a spike tile there that's in front of it, and Asher's kind of the one that's I think used to always check it.
Okay, yeah. Y'all have to realize if I don't know why something's called something, it is up to the rest of the community to remember that because I'm usually the one who knows that crap. All right, so I guess we're pretty much good to give RPG Limit Break their channel back. So Serisan, any final thoughts?
Well, GG to Deng. It was a heck of a race. You know, I was looking forward to it. I know you're a heck of an opponent, and it's always tricky going up against the Deng luck, right? Like you never know when that cake is going to pay out. But you know, thanks for taking on the optionals, bringing in the extra zazz, the spice to this race, and yeah, certainly appreciate everybody who was involved in this. Was it Ravioli doing tracking, ADR doing restream? We got Woat and Luffy in the booth, which, you know, thank you guys for doing the crew thing. And thanks to RPG Limit Break for letting us steal the channel for a bit and put on a show.
You got any last thoughts?
Just GG's to Serisan there. I mean, let's just say I mean, when I pulled up Serisan, I think at Shumbabi and not young me, I go, oh, this is gonna be a rough one. I'm sure a lot of people have said the same thing, but you know, I'm glad to win. I'm sad that you know it wasn't as close as it was, but at the same time, I'm just glad to win. And I don't know, it sounds so conceited, but you know, Woat, Luffy, thanks for doing the comms. ADR for doing it. Did we do the cam?
No,
Was the camera up? What?
We did
ADR,
not.
you failed. You know what, ADR? You get no appreciation now. Get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dengwoo.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Get the
everybody.
giant can and yank him off the stage. All right.
Dude, you miss out by not having the Deng cam though, because he's in his like little gamer closet and he's always rocking out to his techno nightcore
Yeah,
playlist. It's awesome.
You guys did miss it. I was kind of singing. I was kind of doing little hand signals because you know the beat was really going hard. It was awesome. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Luffy, anything else you want to add? Do we want to thank everyone a third time?
I mean, you know, well, I'll thank you, Wood, for allowing me to join you. I jumped in late. I got home from work. I saw there was an opening, and I took it. So there we go. Thank you to our 2 runners for putting on a great race. Coming home from work and jumping into some Final Fantasy Randomizer, watching 2 of my friends here do some good stuff was always a lot of fun. Thank you to ADR for the restream, even though you forgot the cam. We're not going to let you hear the end of it. Ravioli had to bounce, but he held in there for a while. Thank you for tracking when you were here. And, you know, this is a lot of fun. We got another race, I think, on the schedule tonight. Let me take a look.
11 p.m. It's going to be
Yes.
between.
Duskmoon and
believe-
Ale.
Yep. And that looks like it's going to be somewhere over on Speed Gaming.
Looks like Speed Gaming Prime right now.
All right. And yeah, if you want to catch some of that, come join us in our Discord. There should be a link somewhere in the chat. Worst case scenario, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. We'll have a link to our Discord. Come hang out. Come learn the game. After this, we're probably going to have our Duck Derby, right?
Yeah, Duck Derby
Duck Boot
starts
Camp
last
and
week of March, right? Or last week of March?
oh, the boot camp does.
Boot camp,
The,
that's what I meant.
the Derby's a little bit later, probably like what, early June.
6
Late
weeks after
May?
that. So we have
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
weeks of boot camp and 6 weeks
Yeah.
of dirt.
Either way, once the tournament's done, we're going to be doing our new player program, our Duckling Boot Camp. So that is something you can go ahead and get in on the ground floor of. I think most of y'all have come. I think we actually have a couple of ducklings in the room right now.
Yeah, Serisan and I were both ducklings. We're also doing the duckling program together right now. So we're just trying to help other people get to play this game that we love and enjoy.
Yeah, former duckling, I should say. But well, I was gonna say though. Otherwise, yeah. So that's gonna probably do it for us here today. Just to finish out my thought from before, because I said I would finish this. So yeah, party order determines the likelihood that you're going to get hit. Dead party members force a reroll, which means that if you have a dead party member in your second slot, it increases the likelihood that the first party member is going to be the target very high. I'm not going to do the math at the moment. But yeah, generally, if you don't want someone getting punched, you put them in the back 2 slots of your party. There. I did not forget about that question, and I hope that person who asked is still here, because I'm going to feel like a weirdo for doing that. But that's going to do it for us.
Good job avoiding the Twitch math.
You are welcome. All right. So, take care, everyone. See y'all next time.
And make sure to cake glitch.